So talking with band GALLOWGLAS for a couple members down, but we did our best. So, all right, we'll get to the election coverage. Not much of that is out right now, so we'll get to that a little later tonight. So I'd like to start with asking them a few questions. So when did you guys form the band?
When did we form the band? 3 years ago?
About 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Around this time, about 3 years ago.
Around this time, about 3 years ago, I was having a 7-year itch and called my friend Donnie over there and said, "Hey, dude, let's be in a band again." And he was already writing music with Fade Shack at that point. You guys were doing Seraphine and then a little bit on the side. And what were you gonna say?
We were doing, remember we did the Nine Tail reunion show, and that kind of lit a fire under us all.
It did, but it was actually, I feel like it was years later before we officially formed GALLOWGLAS.
Yeah.
After that show.
So remember, we talked.
We did, and I think that's when that the idea of the three of us to start working together kind of was born, and then.
Right.
So were all three of you in that guy?
No,
just me and Jay from GALLOWGLAS were the two original members.
No, but and then when Nine Tail disbanded, Don started Seraphine, and that's where he came in.
Okay.
And then the three of us decided that we were a good team, and not a better team, but a good team, and just went for it. Here we are. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
And the drummer from that and the lead singer, didn't they form Trivium after that?
No. Trivium is a fairly large band, and they've been around for years. The drummer from, are you talking about Nine Tail? Or
no,
Seraphine?
Yeah, maybe I
It's the same drummer.
Yeah.
Same drummer, he drummed for Seraphine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a big sort of melting pot of local musicians, and we just kind of sifted out.
It's also true.
I don't think he is, but if he is, good for him, man.
Yeah, I thought
you
you were
know,
driving a truck, and apparently you did it big.
I don't believe so, but crazy things have happened.
Yeah. Not as big into the scene as I should be for a show like this, I suppose. But
Okay.
all right. So one of your songs that I really liked listening to was "Torches and Pitchforks." Any way you can tell me a little bit about that one?
A little bit about it. Well, it's hard to sit here and tell you exactly what it's about because I wrote it so long ago. And over time, lyrics sort of change with the times. If that makes any sense.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't ever sit down usually and write lyrics to one pointed thing, but it does sort of hold up. And I understand the connection that you would make, especially with the things that we're seeing happen today. But no, it's really just a call, and a general call to the fleecing of America, I guess. By our so-called government, the corporate duopoly that we call our government. It's sort of kind of just not really a call and response song, but just kind of a fight song for any crowd that we're singing from.
Kind of reminded me of System of a Down a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
Political guitars to it.
Yeah, no, I like it. How are you?
Good, man.
The drummers, there he is.
Long time no see.
Yeah, I haven't seen this guy in like months, so this is all very weird.
How you doing? I'm Matt. This is our show, Little Rock Cafe. Thanks for coming on.
Yep.
Appreciate having all of you.
Good, man. Love the jacket.
Thanks. It's
nice. He's the slickest one of all of us, for sure. Yeah. He's the youngest, too, so that probably has something to do with it.
Actually,
You are, aren't you? I'm by a
Pretty
long
young.
shot. Yeah.
young, yeah.
Yeah.
So, if you don't mind me asking, how old is the age range here?
I'm 32.
And then he's the oldest. Go ahead. You don't have to.
Oh,
47. 47.
Oh, boy.
Just turned.
67.
47.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I mean,
All right.
The wisest also, right?
So-
By a long shot, probably.
Well, not too wise. I still do this.
So you guys played a couple shows before COVID, or?
We played exactly zero. Well, I mean, in the year of 2020, we have played 0 shows. Our last show was December 19th, 2019 in Altoona.
Altoona.
Of all places.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And you know, we kind of that was sort of a culmination of that year for us, and we were taking a break for the holidays, and then we decided, oh, we're going to write a couple of songs, and we actually had shows booked from the end of March through the summer. It was really like we were starting to pick up momentum in that regard. We had some really good shows booked. We're set to headline HMAC in Harrisburg. We were set to open for a bigger band at the Chameleon, yeah, I mean things were starting to roll, and then you know, boom, pandemic, and everything shuts down, and
Right.
So we're in the middle of writing a record too.
Well,
We recorded like half of it.
right. And so 2020, in typical fashion, you know, we decide, okay, well, let's refocus our attention on writing and recording another EP. And
Can you tell me a little bit about that one? That would be great.
yeah, so well, there's nothing much to say. It's what, a third of the way recorded by now.
Got all the drums. One side of the guitar's done, bass done, rhythm guitars and lead guitars.
Yeah, so there's some solid songs on there, and songs honestly that we haven't touched in months. That I'm gonna have a tough time remembering when it's time to get for me in the booth. But
I'm gonna have to relearn for sure.
yeah, for sure, we're gonna have to probably start over, because what happened was, and the reason why we're here tonight is we were homeless for a couple of months. So you know, we lost our recording studio or Don's recording studio, to be more specific, and also our rehearsal studio. So they were all in the same building. So
The owner died, and kind of it was like, you know, chaos.
Yeah, you
So-
want to talk a little bit about the studio? What's going on? Or?
Well, he
You
died, and we had nowhere to go. So I have some land here in New Oxford, so I just found a good deal on a building, and boom, here it is. You know,
we're on the second floor of it right now.
second floor of it. Yeah, this is the control room. Almost done. Still need some work done, but it's functional.
It's nicer than my house, dude.
Yeah. This time is perfect.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And just you know, on that note, we just toot his horn for a minute, man. This is like literally, like, for over a decade, he's been talking about having a place of his own on his property, where he can walk out and do his thing. And so this is like super sweet for me to see my boy get to live out his dream, man. Because you know, he deserves it, man. He works. He's a real music dude. Like, there's no it's not a hobby for him. So this is I'm really happy for my guy, man. This is really cool for him, and it's going to be awesome for us. You know, once he moves a little closer, it'll be awesome for everybody.
You're in Philadelphia then.
Yeah, Pottstown.
Dedicated, man. He's dedicated.
What's that trip?
2-hour trip, man.
Wow.
To and from for practice.
Well, thanks for coming. Appreciate
Yeah, we'll put a bump out there for you.
Every week he goes down, even in our last studio.
Yeah.
2-hour trip every week, you know.
that. Commitment.
Yeah, he's very committed.
Yep. This is as much my baby as it is everyone else's. So
He's responsible for our work.
Yeah, everything that you see in terms of our visual presence is all him. He's
That's what he does for a living.
a very talented graphic designer. So we are. I mean, the epitome of a DIY band. Everything is done in house. Minus like t-shirts, which we don't have yet. But
Just about everything we do, each member of the band does it for a living, like arts and the graphics. That's what he does for a living. He's a professional.
a professional asshole.
Yeah. Works for his lyrics. I run for a living. I teach, and I teach music, and I run a studio, and so it works for the band. And Brian's always with me doing stuff. So
So
it all works
My
out.
career path has nothing to do with music.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
And in true metal fashion,
Hey, shit.
late as fuck. That's alright.
What's up, dude? I don't even think you're. Nah, dude, you gotta go to that, bro.
Here. I want to surprise you guys. Anybody else come?
You're a bold man. Yeah. Hey, we're talking to the wall. You gotta move, man. See you on the back.
Right there. Yep. Got it right?
Nah, it's a guitar.
Good job. All right. So you guys all take your playing very seriously. Obviously, you wouldn't be playing metal if you didn't. Are any of you actually like classically trained or just self-taught?
That guy.
How is it?
I'll self-taught with him.
Yeah.
This guy over here.
Yeah.
I studied classical music ever since I was a dad forced me.
I'm not really sure how you study to be a frontman of a metal band. I don't know.
You were like a singer before, right? Like you sang in bands.
Yeah. I've always been in bands,
Right.
but I never like took any lessons of any sort. I think one of my ex-girlfriends from 20 years ago bought me a guitar lesson once, and I went to it just to
Right.
because she bought it for me. It was a nice gift, so I went to the guitar lesson, and I didn't vibe with the teacher. He was kind of a jerk, and I was like, this sucks. I'm just going to sit at home and pluck. And it was more fun anyway, so.
Jay's a natural at it as far as metal, man. He just being on stage with him is always great. Been playing. I mean, we've toured together, been everywhere together, and just it's always been great being on stage with him. The energy he has, it just commands.
Now,
Show.
was it these guys that were yelling out crazy stuff on the stage, or was that a different band you were in?
Crazy stuff on stage.
I probably can't stay on camera, so you said there's something about.
Oh, that was him.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll leave that off the show, though.
Yeah, that's.
When we were on tour, he
Those are whiskey nights, man.
yeah, whiskey nights. He yeah.
It was
If any of one of us would say what he says on stage, we would get killed. But for some reason, he pulled it off.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Too many to tell. Too much to tell.
Yeah, we'll ask. Alright.
Now, how much do you like your YouTube channel, man?
Well, he doesn't like Kansas. We knew that. He doesn't like people in Oregon.
Well, just certain people.
If they drink drinks with umbrellas, he doesn't like it.
Don't drink your drink with I don't know. I'm a little more lenient on that stuff nowadays, but I
Yeah.
was a lot younger and a little more pissed.
So, what actually got you guys in the metal? Tell me.
Got us into it.
Yeah, you get metal talk. Yeah, what got you?
I mean, I couldn't tell you my first memory of hearing metal music, but it's almost like as far back as I can remember I listened to it. I had an older brother who was into stuff from the 80s. He would play guitar, and so when I was big enough to deal with a guitar, trying to, some piece of Kramer out of a little tiny practice amp, thinking I was going to get a good sound out of it. And What's the difference now? It's a bass. So after a year of that, he said, he was redoing his friend's bass. He's like, here, play this. I haven't turned back since.
Awesome. So, bass, drums, guitar, singer, and guitar. Okay. Alright, got it. Anyone else want to share real quick before we get into something else?
So, I mean, I've been listening to metal since my aunt was babysitting me when I was, like 9 years old. I mean, she was a metalhead. She was a teenager at the time, and she would play me, the craziest stuff. At least it was to me back then. And I was just hooked on like the shock factor of a lot of it. I just remember listening to like my first Wasp album when I was
Oh, yeah, man.
11, and I was like, what is this shit? Like, you can say that on a record? Oh my god, this is amazing, and I didn't know what any of it meant. I just knew that it was all bad and inappropriate, and that was good enough for me. And then from there it just blossomed. I mean, I was heavy into Metallica at a young age, in the 80s.
I remember when Ride Like It came out, blew my mind. I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like it was my favorite, still one of my favorite albums, Ride Like It.
Yeah.
Then I went to see Testament live with Alex Skolnick
Yeah.
on the Bradford Pastor Breach, just as a teenager. And
He still wasn't born yet.
Yeah.
That's insane, right?
Blew me away, man. Blew me away. Alex Skolnick, I was like, that's what I want to be right there, man.
Yeah, and he's still doing it.
Oh, yeah,
he's
awesome.
doing it all over. I mean, he does. It's not just Testament for him either. He's a composer.
Yeah.
That dude's legit.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay, so you guys were together before in Nine Tails, but you were part of that too?
Almost. There's a little backstory behind that.
Yeah, he was around.
Yeah, Donnie and Jay could probably tell you more about it, but I was in the middle of art school, college here in York, and
we were ready to tour.
yeah, getting ready to go on a tour, and of course I was on the tail end of just graduating from school, and that would obviously require me to put a hold on that, go on the road, and I was like, I'm gonna go with my gut, as tempting as this opportunity is. So I finished.
Look how it all worked out.
Yeah. But yeah, almost was a part of Nine Tail, for sure.
Have any of you worked together other than that?
Him and I were in the band. Because he was in art school and didn't go with them, he ended up being my band. Luckily for me, he didn't go on tour.
It's weird, like, some of us have crossed paths through the years. Like, all
Yeah,
the
for sure.
years.
When these guys were in Nigel, I lived in the Hollingsburg, Altoona area, and my band out there played with them a few times when they came out.
Okay,
so I've
cool.
known these guys as acquaintances back then, probably going on 10 years now.
Something like that.
It's like more than that.
A little longer.
And I can make Donnie feel really old. You want to tell him how long you've known me?
Oh my gosh. Me and his dad were really good friends. And his dad is older than me, but we were really good friends. And I was hanging out with his dad. You were like 11, I think. 9.
9. Donnie's known me since I was 9. So.
Yeah, 9. His son used to hang out with, or Dan's son, which is him, used to hang out with my son.
Yeah.
And we would hang out together, and our kids play together. And, now he's in his 30s, and
He's all grown up.
all grown.
Yeah.
You're our boy. He's all grown up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's like family to me. He's been like that for years.
It's cool. Like we're all like it's a pretty tight knit group. Like we all come from different backgrounds, from different directions, but we've all crossed paths at some point. So we're in that regard, it makes making music even that much sweeter. So yeah, for sure.
Now you guys are all kind of established around here now, though, right? So would you be doing tours at this point, or?
The deal's right.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. Like, it's just so the business, the way that it is today, the way that the construct is, it's just so dirty and rotten. And we're not young guys anymore, not on the come up. And that's what I think a lot of labels are looking to and I don't know for sure. Labels are,
We're from a different time, and we had the record deals and all that. Like we were traveling and touring,
Right.
and
it's all changed.
that's what we were focused on. And I mean, we lived. How many years did we just play? I mean, since 2000, and we really hit it 2006, 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11. We were playing with everybody. I mean, we got to play with some great,
Can you name a couple of them?
I played Marilyn Manson, but we did Static X, Soulfly, Fear Factory. Oh my gosh,
The Sword, Mushroom Head.
In This Moment,
Unearth, All That Remains.
Unearth, All That Remains. That's GALLOWGLAS just played with Unearth,
Yeah.
All That Remains. We made Mushroom Head, God Forbid, twice. Bleed the Sky, old band. They're back.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember that? We did one with that. 2 dates with them.
We played with High on Fire.
High on Fire.
Goatmore.
Yeah.
Yeah, some big names, man.
Soulfly a couple times.
Yeah.
We were just getting ready to play with Mark Russo.
Yeah, Mark Rizzo, we were supposed to deal with that got canceled.
Yeah, that was one of the COVID casualties.